It's midnight and you're tuning in to Nightline with me, Liyana Hassanel. The top stories. Baby in freezer case. Investigation report to be completed by next week. And South Korea's President Yoon suspended after MPs vote to impeach him. The top story. South Korean National Assembly voted on Saturday to impeach President Yoon Suk-yeol over his botched imposition of martial law. The impeachment motion against him passed 204 to 85, with 3 abstentions and 8 invalid votes, with all 300 lawmakers casting their ballots.
3표, 무효 8표로서 가결되었음을 선포합니다.
Following this, Yoon will be suspended from his duties as soon as the impeachment resolution is delivered to his office, while Prime Minister Han Duck-soo will serve as acting president. Yoon, however, said he would never give up and at the same time called for officials to maintain stability in government functions during what he described as a temporary pause of his presidency.
저는 지금 잠시 멈춰 서지만 지난 2년 반 국민과 함께 걸어온 미래를 향한 여정은 결코 멈춰 서서는 안 될 것입니다. 저는 결코 포기하지 않겠습니다. 저를 향한 질책, 격려와 성원을 모두 마음에 품고 마지막 순간까지 국가를 위해 최선을 다하겠습니다.
The vote took place as hundreds of thousands took to the streets of Seoul in rival rallies for and against Yoon, who launched a failed attempt to impose martial law on December 3rd. The motion will now be sent to the Constitutional Court, which will decide whether to reinstate Yoon or remove him from office. The court has 180 days to rule on his future. If the impeachment is upheld, Yoon will become the second president to be ousted after former President Park Geun-hye in 2017. Meanwhile, South Korea's ruling party leader Han Dong-hoon said he did not regret his decision to encourage lawmakers to impeach Yoon. The head of the People Power Party stated that he accepted the result with a heavy heart and would do everything he can to protect the Constitution and democracy.
저는 오늘의 결과를 대단히 무겁게 받아들입니다. 집권 여당의 대표로서 국민과 함께 잘못을 바로잡고 헌법과 민주주의를 지키겠다는 말씀을 드립니다. 제 말씀은 여기까지입니다.
In the meantime, Han Duck-soo, who will assume the role of acting president, has promised his utmost efforts to ensure stability after Yoon's impeachment. Speaking to reporters, the interim president said he will give all his strength and efforts to stabilize the government. Meanwhile, hundreds of South Koreans burst into cheers after the parliament voted successfully to impeach Yoon. A large crowd of anti-Yoon protesters gathered outside the National Assembly in Seoul as they eagerly awaited the results of the second attempt to impeach Yoon after the first vote was boycotted by his conservative People Power Party.
예상은 했습니다. 예상은 했는데 이렇게 막상 되니 너무 기분이 좋고 눈물이 납니다. 우리 국민은 위대합니다. 우리는 해냈습니다. 앞으로도 계속 해낼 거고요. 지금까지 쭉 해왔던 우리 역사에 오늘도 한 줄을 그을 수 있는 엄청난 일을 우리 국민들이 해놨습니다.
자신의 뜻으로 내려오지도 않고 국민이 원하는 대로 내려오지 않고 있습니다. 빠른 결정, 국민을 위해서, 대한민국을 위해서 빠른 결정해서 자진 사퇴 내렸으면 좋겠습니다.
The Health Ministry is awaiting the findings of an investigation report from the Private Medical Practice Control Section, CCAPS, regarding allegations that a private hospital withheld the remains of a baby due to the parents' failure to pay the hospital bill in advance. Its Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad said the report is expected to be completed by the upcoming post-cabinet meeting next week, which will be the final session for the year.
Sikap kami, ya, amalan kami telah berjumpa dengan keluarga, berjumpa dengan membuat siasatan atas perkara ini, dan saya menunggu untuk mendapatkan dapatan daripada sikap. To me, the time frame is always the next post-cap meeting. Yeah, we have weekly meeting. Last yang baru semalam Jumaat. So I would want to see that, I will get a heads up ataupun an updated dapatan yang akan diperbentangkan kepada post-cap meeting saya. Hopefully I will have the last one before the end of the year next week.
He also assured that the ministry will continue to monitor the operations of private healthcare facilities across the country, which are regulated under the Private Healthcare Facilities and Services Act 1998, or Act 586. Dr. Zulkifli noted that the case is quite unique in terms of its background and circumstances. As such, he stressed that the ministry must allow time for the proper findings and investigation to ensure fairness. However, the ministry will continue its monitoring efforts under the responsibility of CCAPs. In the meantime, Selangor Police Chief Datuk Hussein Omar Khan said statements have so far been taken from 5 individuals in relation to the case, which are the baby's parents, 2 doctors working at the hospital, and another individual who is a friend of the baby's father. All the individuals involved had appeared to have their statements recorded at the Klang Selatan District Police Headquarters since Friday to assist in the investigation. Hussein added that more people could be called in within the next few days, while the police work to obtain documents related to the case from the hospital in question. In another development, Dr. Zulkifli said the ministry has mooted the introduction of a Good Samaritan Law, GSL, in Malaysia, urging its enactment before the 15th parliamentary session concludes. He emphasized that the current lack of such legislation leaves bystanders who offer assistance in emergencies vulnerable to legal consequences.
And they must be protected, of course. They are doing it in good faith. All the more important that we must train them well, so they have quality CPR yang mereka boleh lakukan. And everybody, as I said, is a potential lifesaver.
He was speaking to reporters after attending Malaysia's first Community First Responder Conference in Georgetown, Pulau Pinang. The GSL aims to encourage bystanders to intervene without fear of legal repercussions, such as being sued for unintentional harm that may occur while rendering aid. By offering legal protection, it reduces hesitation among bystanders when they witness an emergency. The government is actively testing various new technologies to ensure the smooth implementation of Phase 2 of the National Digital Network, Jendela Plan, particularly in rural and remote areas. Communications Minister Fahmi Fadzil stated that a hybrid approach is also being adopted to address internet access issues in the 1.8% of populated areas that still lack broadband facilities.
Dan kita harap dengan beberapa pertimbangan termasuk melengkapkan sama ada teknologi yang menggunakan free space optical ataupun microwave, dan juga beberapa penyelesaian di peringkat hujung menggunakan wifi yang lebih banyak. Saya rasa ini akan dapat membantu komuniti yang mungkin sebelum ni tak ada kesaling hubungan, tak ada internet.
Fahmi said this to reporters after he was given a briefing on the proof of concept for the Tarana project in Pontian, Johor on Saturday. He stated that the government is considering Tarana wireless internet technology to address internet access issues in areas where fiber optic installation is challenging, noting that initial tests at several locations have yielded promising results. He explained that the cost-effective technology has also proven successful in several developed countries. This approach could also expedite the implementation of the first phase of the Jendela project, which has faced significant delays. Tabung Haji, TH, is set to begin issuing offer letters to selected prospective pilgrims for next year's Hajj season starting Monday. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Religious Affairs, Datuk Muhammad Naim Mokhtar, said the offer letters will be issued after the announcement of the costs, payments and financial assistance for the 2025 Hajj season.
Kita pukul 12 tengah hari selepas pengumuman itu dibuat, surat tawaran haji ini akan akan dikeluarkan dan jadi jemaah haji yang yang terpilih untuk tahun 2025 yang akan menunaikan haji, mereka ni boleh tengok dalam SMS dan juga email.
Prior to this, Malaysia had submitted a request to the Saudi Arabian government to increase its Hajj quota. This request was conveyed by Muhammad Naim during his meeting with Saudi Arabia's Minister of Hajj and Umrah, Dr. Taufik Fauzan Al Rabiah, last August. For this year's Hajj season, Malaysia was allocated a quota of 31,600 pilgrims, the same as the previous year. Datuk Sri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi has reminded the unity government component parties not to poach party members from their coalition partners. The UMNO president said if such a situation happens, it would offend other parties in the government.
Eloklah kita menjaga perpaduan di kalangan kita dan mana-mana ahli dan pemimpin parti harus mengutamakan kepentingan partinya sendiri, bukan kepentingan peribadinya.
Zahid said this in response to a rumor that UMNO Supreme Council member and Investment, Trade and Industry Minister Datuk Sri Tengku Zafrul Abdul Aziz is leaving UMNO to join PKR. The Barisan Nasional chairman also said that as of now, he has not received any official notification from Zafrul about his plans to leave the party. On Friday, it was reported that Zafrul, who is also UMNO's Kota Raja Division Chief, is negotiating a move to PKR, with a decision expected within the next 2 days. Meanwhile, PKR Information Chief Fahmi Fadzil has addressed the rumor regarding Zafrul's alleged move to join the party.
Semalam saya tak bertanya dengan Tengku Zafrul. Beliau ada hadir dalam mesyuarat Jemaah Menteri, tapi hal ini tidak dibincangkan dalam Jemaah Menteri. Cuma ada laporan media sahaja. Dan Setiausaha Agung Keadilan telah memaklumkan tidak ada waktu ini apa-apa permohonan yang dibuat.
In the meantime, Selangor Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Amiruddin Syari has dismissed claims suggesting that he may step down. The Selangor Pakatan Harapan chairman, in a brief statement, stressed that he will continue to serve as the Selangor Menteri Besar until the end of his term. He added that he will remain in Selangor to ensure economic stability and the stability of the unity government, as advised by the Sultan of Selangor, Sultan Sharafuddin Idris Shah. Total dependence on Global Equine Services and Business Holdings, GISBH, has been identified as the primary reason members find it difficult to leave the organisation, which has been declared deviant by religious authorities. Bukit Aman Criminal Investigation Department CID Director Datuk Sri Muhammad Shuhaili Muhammad Zain stated that GISBH leadership determined all aspects of its members' livelihoods, allowing the organisation to exert complete control over their lives.
Cuba keluar daripada kumpulan ini, tapi mereka tak boleh melangsungkan kehidupan kerana mereka sudah bergantung dengan jemaah itu.
Doktrin
bukan, dia punya sistem kehidupan harian itu sudah ingrained, embedded dalam jemaah itu. Maksudnya rumah disediakan, pekerjaan buat untuk jemaah.
Shuhaili said this during a special Buletin TV3 edisi khas podcast on Saturday. He added that the community and authorities play a crucial role in establishing a support system for the followers of the organisation. This is because faith rehabilitation programs alone are inadequate unless they also address the followers' livelihood needs. Meanwhile, Shuhaili emphasized that the large-scale police operation against GISBH was not intended to undermine the economic activities of any particular race. Instead, it was focused on criminal offences involving children.
Sekiranya dah boleh sampai ke tahap pendakwaan, maksudnya dia bukan lagi satu hearsay. Maksudnya ada perlakuan eksploitasi terhadap kanak-kanak ini untuk melangsungkan perniagaan jemaah ini. So kalau kita cakap disebabkan mereka ini ekonomi orang Melayu, bagi saya tak ada exception di dalam undang-undang mengatakan kiranya mereka ingin bersama-sama dengan satu kumpulan yang telah pun difatwakan sesat, teruskan, kita semua akan menghadap pencipta kita satu hari.
Mengupas strategi peristiwa jenayah sepanjang 2024 bersama Pengarah Jabatan Siasatan Jenayah Datuk Seri Muhammad Suhaili Muhammad Zain, antaranya isu JISPH, kes bunuh Nur Farah Kartini dan Zain Ryan. Eksklusif dalam podcast khas Buletin TV3 jam 10 pagi 14 dan 15 Disember menerusi YouTube dan Facebook Buletin TV3.
Blogger Wan Azri Wanduris, better known as Papa Gomo, was released on police bail on Friday after being detained to assist in investigations into a money laundering and fraud investigation. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Razaruddin Hussain on Saturday confirmed that Wan Azri was released after police completed recording his statement. The top cop added that so far 16 people have had their statements recorded to assist in the investigation, which is being conducted under the Penal Code for cheating and is nearing completion. Wan Azri was apprehended by officers from the Bukit Aman Anti-Money Laundering Criminal Investigation Team at his residence in Putrajaya at around 1:30 a.m. on Friday. It was reported that the 41-year-old was arrested to facilitate investigations into the fraudulent use of a company's name to collect funds. National doubles shuttlers create new history. Actions from the 2024 BWF World Tour Finals after this breather.
Selepas hampir 2 dekad, rancangan reality TV terhebat kembali dengan lebih segar dan penuh kejutan. Ribuan peserta hadir ke 7 lokasi uji bakat di seluruh Malaysia dengan membawa mimpi dan harapan untuk menjadi seorang penghibur terkenal sekaligus memenangi hadiah bernilai RM1 juta. Siapakah 100 peserta yang bertuah yang bakal mara ke peringkat seterusnya untuk bergelar juara Kalpis Soda 1 in a Million?
Kucing anda ada personality superstar? Inilah masa si comel sertai pertandingan Cat Fashion Week. Hantar video 1 minit paling bergaya. Email ke kontes@tv3.com.my atau muat naik ke media sosial sebelum 15 Disember. Jangan lupa hashtag kucing terpilih bakal melangkah ke pusingan seterusnya dengan hadiah menarik. Info lanjut di TV3 Malaysia. Jadikan si bulus anda super meowdel terfamous.
Lekangan retina. Awas, anda mungkin hilang penglihatan jika tidak dirawat segera.
Mata saya macam ada bintik hitam. Kalau tunggu boleh jadi buta lah.
Kenali tanda awal, lindungi penglihatan anda.
20-20-20 rule. Setiap 20 minit, biarkan mata selama 20 saat dengan memandang satu objek 20 kaki.
Lekangan retina, perampas cahaya. Kami bawakan dalam Hello Doktor, Ahad 5.30 petang di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Ujian dan dugaan sebagai penguat iltizam mencetus inspirasi.
Boleh saya katakan masa tu agak alpa, lalai. Saya rasa menyambung pelajaran ini adalah salah satu step untuk saya melonjak lebih ke hadapan.
Siaplah kita punya rojak pisang. Nak tahu daripada negeri mana? Negeri Johor Darul Takzim.
Adakan cabaran dalam rumah tangga. Kita kena cakna dan peka apakah perkara yang menggembirakan hati pasangan kita.
Sports badminton, the 2024 BWF World Tour Finals. After a 7-year wait, Malaysia finally has representatives in the finals of the season-ending tournament, thanks to the determination and impressive performances of Chen Tangji, Toh Iwei, and Gozofe Nur Izzuddin Muhammad Rumsani on Saturday. In the men's doubles event, Zafei and Nur Izzuddin extended their remarkable run in the competition with an incredible 17-21, 21-16, 27-25 comeback victory against Indonesia's Fajar Alfian, Muhammad Rian Ardianto. Next up, the world number 7 pair will face Denmark's Kim Astrup and Skorup Rasmussen in the final for the trophy. Meanwhile, Tang Ji and Iwei confirmed their status as Malaysia's leading mixed doubles pair, with a commanding 21-15, 21-12 victory over compatriots Goh Sun Huat, Siobhan Jamie Lai in the semis. The world number 8 duo have made history by becoming the first Malaysian combination to progress beyond the semi-finals since the tournament's inception in 2008. Tang Ji Yiwei await the Olympic champions Zheng Siwei, Wang Yaqiang in the finals on Sunday. Moving on to football, the 2024 AFF ASEAN Cup. Harimau Malaya suffered a narrow 1-0 defeat against Thailand in their Group A clash in Bangkok on Saturday, making it much harder for the national squad to qualify for the knockout stages. The match came to life in the second half after Patrick Gustafsson pounced on Muhammad Haziq Natsli's mistake and slotted it home in the 57th minute. Despite being a close game, with both teams having their fair share of possession and 2 shots on target each, the scoreline remained 1-0 until the final whistle, handing Harimau Malaya their first defeat of the tournament. Thailand remained top of the group with 6 points, while Malaysia sit in third with 4 points. Still on football, the Malaysia Cup. Negeri Sembilan FC's winless streak continued on Saturday after they suffered a 2-0 defeat to Terengganu FC. Terengganu opened the scoring in the 19th minute after Safawi Rasid brilliantly dribbled inside the box before producing a classy finish. Negeri Sembilan intensified their effort to level the score, but they found themselves one man behind in the 78th minute after Aliyu Abu Bakar was shown the red card, following a reckless challenge on Terengganu's Nur Hakim Hassan. The hosts once again proved reckless as goalkeeper Akil Raza fouled Nelson Bonilla Sanchez inside the box in the 85th minute, awarding the Turtles a penalty which was calmly converted by Nelson, giving his team a 2-0 victory. Terengganu now have the advantage going into the second leg, which will be played in Kuala Terengganu on December 21st. On to esports, the Mobile Legends Bang Bang M6 World Championship. Malaysian heroes Selangor Red Giants SRG saw their impressive run in the tournament come to a bitter end as they lost 3-0 to Team Liquid ID in the lower bracket finals on Saturday. In the best-of-5 format, Team Liquid ID's duo of jungler Fabian and gold laner Aaron Shiki stole the show in the first 2 games, allowing the reigning MPL Indonesia champion to take a crucial 2-0 lead. SRG tried to fight back, but Team Liquid ID dominated the third game before upsetting the hometown heroes with a clean 3-0 sweep. The loss ended SRG's hopes of clinching the title in front of a packed 7,000-strong crowd at the Axiata Arena.
Giants get his kill. Winter crowd in the base.
3 killed at Thai Festival. The details when Nightline returns.
Daripada 100 peserta, hanya 50 sahaja yang layak untuk kepusingan seterusnya.
Saringan makin ketat.
Cabaran semakin hebat.
Mampukah mereka menawan hati juri-juri kita?
Siapakah penyanyi yang bernilai RM1 juta yang kami cari?
Congrats yang berjaya. Saksikan episod kedua Audition Journal Coffee Soda One in a Million Ahad ini 15 Disember jam 12.30 tengah hari hanya di TV3.
Sejuta soda,
satu juara.
Kita pun tak keluarkan badan manusia tersebut. Didapati tiada kaki, tiada tangan.
Suspek membuang bahagian badan mangsa yang juga seorang orang kurang upaya ke dalam lubang pembentung di belakang kediaman mereka.
Manakala kepala, dua-dua belah tangan dan dua-dua kaki telah dikambus di bahagian belakang rumah.
Khairi buat apa? Cuba cerita dekat Mak. Anak perempuan bertimah tu, dia tu ada hati dekat saya.
Khairil takkan bagi Mak pisahkan Khairil dengan Ada.
Kau kena bunuh budak ni. Ya, kau dah gila ke? Ini cucu aku ni. Mak! Dia ni bawa bana Ada.
Lara Kasih, Minggu akhir, Isnin hingga Rabu, 10 malam di Samarinda TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Apa yang istimewa daripada kami di minggu final kami 2? Rul, kita nak tahu? Kita tunggu final nanti. Yang penting kita akan buat the best. Betul, insyaAllah. Kita akan bagi satu dewan ni terbakar dengan kita punya persembahan tu. Membara. Itu dia. Okay, insyaAllah. Doakan kami.
Berbekalkan kreativiti dalam persembahan, mampukah Tomok dan Syarul bergelar juara? Saksikan Family Dua Akhir Ahad 9 malam hanya di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
The foreign news. The Zionist regime has struck Syria yet again, this time targeting military headquarters of the Army's 4th Division in Damascus and Radar Battalion in the nearby countryside late on Friday. The UK-based Syrian Observatory. The UK-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights confirmed the attacks, saying that the strikes destroyed a research center in Mashaf and other facilities in Barzeh, located north of Damascus. It added that missile storage depots and launch sites on Mount Qasayan were also targeted during the attack. Since al-Assad's fall, Israel has launched hundreds of attacks on Syrian military sites, targeting everything from chemical weapon stores to air defenses. At the same time, satellite images appear to show Syria's ally, Russian forces, packing up and dismantling military equipment at one of their key bases in the country, suggesting that it may be preparing for military withdrawal. Also, in continued Zionist violence, Israel launched further attacks on schools, medical facilities, and homes across the Gaza Strip on Saturday, killing and injuring several people just one day after dozens were massacred in a strike on the Nusayrat camp. According to officials, Israeli Dawn raids killed 4 people in Jabalia, while 2 others were killed in a school northeast of Gaza City. Later, the military targeted a group of civilians at the Jala Junction northwest of Gaza City, killing 1 woman and injuring several others. Meanwhile, buildings were blown up by the Zionist forces, with dozens of homes burned in and around Beit Lahia in northern Gaza, which has been under an even tighter siege over the past 2 months. It was also reported that the Zionists fired upon and damaged Kamal Adwan Hospital in the same area. These attacks follow Friday's massacre in the Nusayrat refugee camp, where at least 36 people were killed, sparking widespread condemnation. At least 3 people were killed and scores injured when a grenade was thrown into an annual fair in northern Thailand late on Friday. The attack occurred at the Red Cross Doi Loifa Fair in the Tak province. Police were alerted to the incident at about 11:30 p.m. local time and, upon arrival, detained 2 teenagers aged 16 and 17 who are believed to be connected to the bombing. The grenade was thrown in front of a dance stage where residents and visitors were dancing to the music. Officials said that a total of 3 people were killed in the explosion, while 48 others were left injured. They further stated that one of the suspects admitted to carrying a shoulder bag containing the explosive, intending to target a rival gang. Police have not yet filed charges against the suspects, as the investigation is ongoing. And that concludes Nightline this time around. Before we leave, let's take a look as runners from around the world traveled all the way south for stunning Antarctic ice marathon. With that, I'm Liyana Hassanel. Thank you for watching and be well, Malaysia.